So Alfie sent us a message. Hi guys, really enjoy your podcast. Thank you, smart guy. It has really given me a sense of control over my money and future, which I didn't have before. So thanks for that. I know you have touched upon it before, but I'd love to know your opinion on student debt and investing. I currently sit at £45,000 in debt, standard student loan arrangement for my study years, which is charged out at 7.1% interest. I work at a top restructuring firm for the last 4 years, and I'm a chartered accountant, so I'm fortunate enough to have a good salary and a bonus each year. But my debt continues to grow as the interest outweighs payments. How can the government or student finance expect anyone to pay this debt off if someone in a solid financial position is not even reducing theirs? Do you think I should focus on trying to take chunks off this debt using my yearly bonus? Or should I continue with my early investing savings plans? I understand this is not financial advice, smart guy, but would appreciate your thoughts on it.
Right. I mean, just to caveat this, we graduated a long time ago, and we were on the student plan 1, I think, at the time, which was very different. The interest rate was super cheap. The advice was always, don't overpay it. There's no point. The question about how do they expect people to ever pay this back, I think the answer is they don't. I think most people will end up getting the debt wiped and paying back a lot. The university and education system in the UK has gone from, in quite a quick amount of time, from something that supports people from poor backgrounds getting a higher education to now just absolutely straddling people from poor backgrounds with shed loads of debt in order to get a degree. I'm glad that that Alfie's come out and has a good job, but there's a lot of people that come out, go into bog standard jobs and have just got 40k of debt that's growing at 7%. It's a bit outrageous.
And you see it getting taken off your, if you get the original one, you get it taken off your salary.
Yeah, that's it. And at 7%, that like if this was a loan and it was at 7%, like a traditional unsecured loan, not a student loan, where it's wiped at the end of a period of time, I would be saying it makes sense to potentially overpay the loan than invest, because you'll get a better return from clearing the loan than you will potentially from investing. If interest rates keep going up, you might get a better return on cash. But for this, because the debt's wiped at the end, I don't know what the best answer is, to be honest. You're going to need to use a calculator to work out whether you should be overpaying it or not. He stands the risk of that he actually will pay it off within the time period. So it makes sense to hammer it down so he pays less over the time, but I wouldn't know without crunching the numbers.
I mean, I thought that they take out your salary and it's only if you're self-employed you can...
You can overpay though.
You can overpay.
You can call up and make overpayments. But yeah, they'll be taking it off his salary. And one thing that I've seen is that they're thinking of pushing the age of when it's wiped up by 5 years.
I was about to say that.
So
I
they
saw
could just
recently.
keep moving the goalposts.
It's completely changed. Like the whole getting a student loan now is not as beneficial as it was back in our day.
I don't think getting a degree full stop is very beneficial. Unless it's a technical skill that you end up with at the end. I think it's quite an expensive course for what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's entitled to their opinion, but I just think if I was asked, would I do uni again at 3 times the cost with 4 times the interest rate, I'd probably I presented that 20k debt I had at 2%.
You thinking about putting your kid in uni? You think it's a decision you make closer to the time?
Yeah, I mean, if he wants to go, he can go. That's up to him.
Yeah.
I would probably encourage him more to go travelling. Do you know what I mean? I could say go travelling for a year, and then when you come back, work in a business, rather than go to uni necessarily.
I think it took me about 8 years to pay off my first student loan.
Yeah.
And then I did an MBA, so now I've got another student loan, which I'm paying off now. So,
but, it's almost cyclical, I think, the student, like, our parents, no one could go to uni, so they told all of us, you've got to go to uni because you'll get a great job. So we all went to uni, and then now it's like, well, don't go uni, just get an apprenticeship or something. Yeah. And I think it just kind of rotates, and maybe we'll be tailoring all our kids, or probably wouldn't waste your time going
to uni.
Yeah, but anyway, that's not the question. I'm sure there's a calculator online where you plug in your amounts and it'll tell you whether it's worth overpaying or not. I don't want to say off the top of my head because the interest rate's quite high, but there's this point of it gets wiped at the end.
Yeah. So yeah, in answer to this question, that's how they expect anyone to pay their debt. It gets wiped off. They don't expect you. But if you've got loads of money, they expect you to pay it off.
Well, I think I worked out that if my son did the exact same degree that I did and came out and earned like 40k a year consistently, he would pay back 3 or 4 times what I did for the exact same course. It's pretty ridiculous. Yeah. They've just bent students over.
At the worst time in your life when you really don't have money.
Straddling the generation with debt like that.
That's how they hit me with. Then they hit you with a credit card as well, just on top, a little icing on the cake.
Fine.
And a parking fine.